Welcome back to Stories with Steve. Now, this is the story of the ridiculous couple, right? Ridiculous couple. It's a woman and a man who are basically married to other people, right? She's married to some other guy who lives down the block. He's married to some other lady wherever the heck he lives, and they both go to the gym together. Now, I guess initially they were cheating on their spouses, and they met and they were having fun in their early days. But it's like they've entered a secondary miserable marriage, right? She's a very pale white woman with red hair, not ugly, but not good looking either, right? She's like, meh, right? He's kind of an effeminate Spanish guy that wears like super tight workout gear, which with clothing on top of it, look like he's wearing spandex with shorts, right? And he's feminine. And he's kind of got like diva-ish kind of mannerisms, like you know what I mean. So and she's kind of not getting the message that I guess he doesn't like her the way he used to. So I'm working at the gym at this point, right? Again, I told you before I did the overnight, right? And this is one of the crazy groups of people I would see. So this couple would come in, I want to say 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, right? He would come and dart up the stairs. She would come and talk to you. You know, the more she got to know you, the more information she would give to you, stuff that you didn't even want to know. Um, and they would come in and he would attempt to actually work out in his weird little way. And she would be completely preoccupied on him not paying attention to her and him possibly looking at another woman in the gym, right? To the point that she never really got a good workout in because she's so preoccupied of where his eyes are going, right? And like I said, I guess once upon a time they were having fun. They were each other's side pieces, right? But now they're in like a secondary miserable marriage and he doesn't want nothing to do with her, except for maybe go to the gym and maybe leave, but that's about it. So this saga would go on and on and on to the point where, like I said, she would divulge more information than you want to know, and say things to try to get his attention and everybody else's attention in the gym. So I'll give you an example. He's over there doing the bench press, right? Not paying her any attention. He's not even looking at any other females for that matter. He's just in his weird zone of being him working out. He's not paying her any attention and she's upset about it. Instead of going lifting weights herself, going on a treadmill or doing something else productive. Now, she is getting upset and he was wearing headphones listening to whatever. So I guess he's tuning her out. And that aggravated her even more. So she decides that she's going to just start yelling stuff to him, you know, right above him as he's lifting weights. So the man is lifting weights. He's over there bench pressing or whatever, laying on a bench and lifting the weights. And she comes behind him. And mind you, like I said, they would come in around 4:30 in the morning. So around 4:30 in the morning, when you start wobbling into 5 o'clock, you have a lot of older folks that would come, man. And a lot of these older folks were just there to like socialize. They're lifting like a weight that weighs 2 ounces and talking about their dog's indigestion or something like that, or their grandchild's toy. So they're there more to socialize, but you have an older crowd there. So, and around this time, I want to say it had to be closer to 5:30 when he's doing his little bench press. Now he's doing his little bench press. She gets behind him and starts saying crazy stuff. Now the one thing that I heard loud and clear was she looked over him and she said, "You don't lick my ass no more." That filtered through his earphones and I guess got into his ears. He had the shock look. An older lady comes to the front desk where I'm at. And now I heard this loud and clear, like it was echoing off the ceiling and the walls. But the old lady comes up to me and she's like, "Did you hear what she said? He doesn't." Oh, I can't even say it. And the old lady walks off. Now, this is the kind of stuff she would say. You know what I mean? Stuff that I don't think everybody else in the gym wants to know, especially them older folks. But, she needs attention from somewhere, and he's not giving her no attention, so she's going to find it somewhere. So then she got to the point where she would be divulging information to me of an explicit nature about what they did, what he used to do, and now he's not doing. And I'm like, why are you telling me? I'm not your therapist in that persuasion. I'm just a guy working at the gym. We're not even cool like that. To the point where I had another coworker, one of my homegirls, who's a lesbian, right? So she doesn't want to hear about male body parts, but she's, like coming into work, and she would get to work. She was supposed to clock in at 6. So it's like 5:45 in the morning or something. She's still half awake, just got her little coffee from a deli or something like that, sipping on it, trying to wake herself up. And here comes this lady. Now she's outside. I guess she went for fresh air. And now she's telling this poor lesbian woman who doesn't want to hear again about male body parts or what comes out of male body parts. And she's telling her about how he did something with her the other day after the gym, and it sprayed all over her face, and she didn't know what to clean it with. And my poor coworker is like, she's like, Steve, I wasn't even fully awake. It's like 5:45 in the morning. I'm not ready or awake or even wanted to hear this, even if I was awake. Why is she telling me this? So this would go on and on. She would, he doesn't lick this, or he doesn't do that, or he doesn't, want her to lick him, or who knows what. She's just sharing way too much information. TMI, TMI, TMI. She's Miss TMI, right? And she, like I said, she's cheating on her husband a few blocks from where she lives, and like his relatives come in and out. So I don't know where she thought that made any sense, because they're obviously seeing her. It was like a soap opera that wasn't put together correctly. And there was, another incident where she said something to him. He made a noise like, whoop, and darted up the steps. Don't know what the hell that noise means. After he makes that noise, he darts up the steps. And then I guess she went to go use the bathroom, and he ran out the gym. Right? He ran out the gym, left her. They didn't walk out arguing, I guess, which she loved. So he left. She finds out he left. So now she wants to put on a whole show. So she starts acting as if her health is, like if she's gonna pass out or something like that. And it's the fakest stuff you've ever seen in your life. She's like, I can't believe oh, and he left. I'm starting to feel, oh. And I'm looking like, come on, man. What, that, if you're going to fake faint, just don't fall on the floor. Not these like dramatics. Like, and she's, no. So she eventually starts moving, but she doesn't actually want to fall on the floor and possibly hurt herself, because she's crazy, but not stupid, I guess. So she falls in incredibly slow motion. Like the slowest motion you could ever picture. And then she lands on the floor the softest way possible. She's like, oh, no, oh, no, oh, and then lands softly on the floor. So now she's laying on the floor like an idiot after her fake fainting spell over Mr. Whatever. And now you got these other gym goers who just see her laying on the floor. So now they're telling me, what happened to her? What's going on? Oh my God, is she okay? And I'm like, she's fake fainted, man. It's dramatics. But they don't want to believe me. So these fools start calling 911. So they call 911 while she's laying on the floor, obviously awake, obviously conscious, just looking for attention. And when she hears them starting to call 911, then she just all of a sudden perks up, jumps up out of her supposed, unconsciousness. And so I tell them, oh no, you don't have to, no, you were unconscious. You need to be seen. So now she's throwing a whole fit because apparently her husband might be going to work. And if she's in an ambulance, apparently being checked out, that might make his antennas go up and realize something's going on. Not her leaving, super early in the morning and going in and out of the gym with some random man. No. That's not suspicious at all. It's her being in an ambulance, coming out of a gym where maybe you could pass out in a gym, and maybe an EMS might come to check you out to make sure you're all right, but that's too much logic. So this went on and on and on and on, right? They'd come in and out. She's devoting too much information. She's throwing crazy scenes. And I just didn't get the whole situation. I mean, if you're already miserable with your wife or your husband, right? Maybe the whole point of cheating usually is just to have some fun, or maybe find somebody new that you can actually, connect with. Not to have two miserable marriages. So you have a legal miserable marriage and then a side miserable marriage. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But that's the story of the disgruntled side pieces.